Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'd like to give our usual shout out to our patrons. We appreciate all the tips and support. It's just going to go towards making the channel better, hopefully adding more games in eventually. And on that note, we are going to try and reward our patrons as a big thank you by posting exclusive content every week to our patrons. So if you guys are curious about it, go ahead and check out the description of the video. Otherwise, I'm going to jump right into it. Today's video, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about something you've probably heard us mention in the past. What is stroking? What is a stroker? Well, a stroker can be a lot of different things. There's a lot of different ways that somebody could be considered a stroker. Let's see here. Let's just start with just betting. Just betting. So let's say we are getting ready to come out. We have a come out roll and we mark the 9. So a player decides they want to bet the hard way. So what do? Let me get a $5 hard 6. Dealer says, okay, cool. They pick up the check. They put it in the right spot. As soon as they stand back up, $5 hard 10. Dealer's like, oh, okay, take that check. They'll go, they'll set it up, they stand back up, or they turn to start talking to another player who's also trying to bet, and the same player, let me get a hard 8. Okay, so we set that up. Now at this point, we've had to ignore every other player because we keep getting the same person. Oh, let me get a hard 4. It's called string betting. When you string your bets out like that, and that is very much the sign of a stroker. Same thing can happen with the place bets. We can have a player say, let me get the 4. Okay, you got it. Okay, what can I get? And the 5. Okay, you got it. Okay, what can I give? And the 10 and the 8? Oh, okay, and every time, as soon as I set it up, I look at the other players who probably have money out, like, hey, what can I give? Oh, and let me get a 6. Okay, you've got 27 across and 4 easy payments. Now I have an opportunity to look at the other players and start asking them what it is they want. So you notice that, one, this slows the game way down. And now let me make this even worse. Okay, so we've set up their bets. We still haven't rolled the dice. We're still just marked the point, and now set up their bets. And we've set up a couple of other people's bets, right? So we're getting ready to move the dice, and this person goes, "Let me press the 6 and 8." Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press the 6 and 8. Instead of throwing in $39 and saying, "Let me get a cross every 6-8," they had to place this bet in basically 5 to 6 individual bets. That is definitely a stroker. That would 100% be considered a stroker. Somebody that is just, it's generally looked at as players that play this way. Generally, they're assumed to be doing it on purpose, because there's a certain point where stuff like this is becoming so difficult on the dealer, making them make so many moves, and it's requiring the player to make to sit there and pause and then throw check in, pause and throw another chip in, pause and throw another chip in, that the player is actually going out of their way now to be more difficult for the dealer. Something like this, it's absolutely assumed that the player is doing it on purpose. Now, here's another one, and if this one comes up, it's not generally assumed that the player is trying to be a jerk to the dealers. This one is just the dealer is wondering who in the heck taught you how to play this. I have actually seen this one. This is, say something hits. Let's say the 6 hits. So we pay the 6, right? We pay it out, and the player says, "Let me press me 27 across." You got it. So now they want to press every bet. Okay, that's not a problem. Now let's say the 6 hits again. So we pay them, and they say, "Press me 27 across." All right, now at this point, we're sitting there going, "Oh, are you kidding me?" Because this is no quick way to do it, so it's just slowing the game down big time. But we're not assuming that the player is being a jerk on this, because there's an actual mentality behind this. There's an actual strategy behind this, although I've only seen 2 people play it this way. and both of them got chased off the table by the other players pretty quickly. But that is most definitely also a stroking type of bet, stroking type of player. What's another one? Oh, improper bets. They've gone 27 across. We pay them their $7. Give it to them. They say, "Oh, press my 6." Like, you got, drop me that 5. I want to press a $2. We'll even tell them, you're losing money. Don't tell me what to play. Okay, no problem. We'll do this. And then they keep throwing their ones out in random spots on the bets, improper bets, and just incrementally improper bets. Definitely a stroker, and definitely doing it on purpose, because this is one where the dealers have, I guarantee, educated them multiple times on the fact that they are losing money by doing this. It's not a lot. When you do improper bets, you're losing less than $1, always fractions of $1. I mean, a $5 place bet on the 6, if the 6 were to hit, you're losing 84 cents. You're giving away less than $1. But the thing is, these pennies, these 10s, 15s, 12s, 80 cents, they add up. They add up, and they add up fairly quickly. It doesn't take that many hits before you have basically given the casino a free place bet in some way, shape, or form. You could have pressed something with the amount of money that you gave the casino because your bets were improper. So I guarantee that dealers have educated players with the improper bets on stuff like this, and the player just doesn't care. So we definitely know players like this are doing it on purpose. Another one, late bets. The shooter has the dice in their hand, and the player's going, "Oh, let me get a 6 and 8," or even worse, "Let me get a 6 and 8." Now, if someone throws that in, the shooter has the dice in their hand, and they're getting ready to throw them, or even the dice have even made it just to the shooter, so they're getting ready to pick them up and throw them, and someone throws that in and says, "Let me get a 6-8." If I'm on a $10 table, I'm going to say $24 action, 6 and 8 bet, one change after the roll, maybe. Higher probability, especially if I happen to be on those rare $5 tables, or depending on the player, if they throw that in and say, "Let me get a 6-8," and the shooter has the dice, or the dice are just not in the middle, I'm just going to say no bet. I'm going to say no bet, because what this is a shot waiting to happen. If a 6 or an 8, if I'm on a $5 table and I say bet without any other information, and a 6 rolls, let's say, the player's going to say they bet $12 each on the 6 and 8, and they expect one change, and then they expect to get paid for their $12 bet. If a 7 were to roll, however, they're going to say they bet $6 each, they expect their 13 change. That's called a shot, having a shot taken. Same thing, even if I'm on a $10 table. If I don't specifically say 6 and 8, 12 each, one change after the roll, and manage to get that out before the dice roll, and a 7 rolls, they're going to say, because it's a $10 minimum bet, say, "No, I want it $10 on each." Again, they're taking a shot. Which is why if somebody throws in a late bet and they don't specify an amount, oftentimes I'm going to say no bet. It's just like if the dice are no longer in the middle and somebody says, "Let me get a cross," no bet. Because I don't know how much. Do you want 54 across? Do you want 135 across? Do you want 160 across, including? What exactly is it that you want? And it's going to, for a lot of players, it's going to depend, it's going to change based on what the roll is if we have not specified in advance. Okay, so this is something I recommend to everybody. When you make a bet, say an amount. Don't do this and say, "I want the inside." How much inside? What do you want inside? What are you trying to get? Are you trying to get 85 inside? Are you trying to get 34 inside? Are you trying to get 51 inside? What are you trying to bet? If you don't know, please don't bet it. And I had this exact situation happen today where it was just a chunk of red that he threw down. Let me get the inside. He wanted 110 inside, including. He didn't say that. He just threw down a chunk of red, and then we have to break it down, set it up, But we have to break it down, figure out what he wants, set it up. Whereas if he said, I want 110 inside, we could have handed it to our box, set it up. The box could have counted down the money while we're dealing with everybody else's bet. He basically added about a minute to the time that all the other players were waiting for us to get a dice roll. So those are a couple of examples of what it means to be a stroker. To be going out of your way to make the dealer's job more difficult. That is what we consider to be a stroker. And it can apply it to all the bets. It can apply to center action. It can apply to place bets. It can apply to even placing the point on the line. I have actually seen something like this. Because every time they got paid something on a place bet, they just kept stacking it up. They kept stacking it up, stacking it up, stacking it up. Because they don't know what the odds are. And let's say the point was an 8. They don't know how it pays. They don't know what the odds are. They don't know if they're losing money or not. So they just keep stacking it up, and then they'll let us figure it out when it hits. Now, more often than not, it doesn't hit because, again, 7 comes more often than anything else. But when it does, now we got to break it down. We got to calculate it out. Whereas the good and knowledgeable players will be doing it in units of 6. I see that kind of stuff all the time as bets hit. But they'll be doing it in units of 6, and they'll constantly be fixing the bet. If they want to add to it, they may take away some ones so they can add all red or so on and so forth. Those are generally rookie players, or I do know of one player that absolutely knows what everything pays, and he loves to do stuff like that because he always goes to the weakest dealer, and he's hoping that he gets paid wrong. If he gets paid wrong and it's in his favor, he won't say a word. If he gets paid wrong and it's not in his favor, you're damn sure he's going to say something, because he's one of the few that actually knows what things pay and still bets them improper on purpose. So, hope you guys find this interesting. What exactly is a stroker? I'm sure you guys have heard us mention this in the past. So, there you go. That is what a stroker is. And thank you for watching, everybody. We will catch you guys next time. Bye now.